A few episodes ago, I transformed my end portal, but when I go through it, I see this, a normal, boring end dimension. So today, I'm going to be transforming the end into something amazing. First up, we're going to need to kill the dragon 18 times in a row, since that way we can get all 20 end gateways to generate. Now, there's a few things that we have to get first. A stack of end crystals to respawn the dragon, a few shulkers of beds to kill the dragon the speedrunner way, and some glass bottles so I can get the advancement where you collect the dragon's breath. Since after this, I can never respawn the dragon again. And this right here is everything that I'll need. So it's time to head over to the end, and we can start respawning the dragon. And here we go. This is dragon number 1. All right, we have some dragon's breath. Let's get the advancement real quick. Wait, oh, my inventory is full, so it doesn't count. There we go. And now we just have to wait for the dragon to perch. I hope I still remember how to do this. Okay, it's looking like it might perch soon. There it goes. Okay, it's perching. Oh no, I forgot something. Wait, no, I need some obsidian. We're gonna have to wait till the next perch. So I need 2 obsidian, and they have to go right here. There we go. Now I'm ready. Okay, it's perching. Here we go. Okay, I'm doing some damage. Oh, it's going pretty well, actually. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna do it. Look at that. I killed the dragon in just 1 cycle, but that's dragon number 1 done. Let's go for dragon number 2. Okay, here it comes. And once again, I killed the dragon in 1 cycle. So now it's time for dragon number 3. Dragon number 3 is dead. So is dragon number 4, number 5, number 6, 7, 8, 9, number 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so it seems like I lost count because this is actually dragon number 18. So we just have to wait for it to perch, and then I'll have all 20 end gateways. All right, it's perching. Here we go. Dragon number 18 is dead. That took so long, but it was actually pretty good practice for speedrunning. But check it out. I have all 20 end gateways. Finally. So now before I do anything else, I'm going to set up a beacon real quick. First, I'm going to gather up some blocks, and then we can fly down here underneath the island. Oh gosh, this is kind of scary. Place the block right there, and we'll land right on here. Okay, there we go. And now we'll bridge all the way to the center. All right, here we go. Now to just fly all the way back up here and dig down in the center below the end fountain. And now to just put speed 2 on it, which is going to make this next part super easy. And that's going to be spawn proofing the entire end island. I brought myself a bunch of torches, and using this handy overlay, I can see all the areas where endermen can spawn. And in those places, I'm going to put a torch. And now I just have to repeat this across the entire island. This is definitely going to take a while, but I'm doing this for a good reason. 1, so endermen don't pick up the blocks in my builds, and 2, so they don't kill me. Not like I would die to an enderman or anything, but it's just to be safe. It's been a little while, and everything should be spawn-proofed, but I'm gonna open up the F3 screen just to be sure. We're looking for endermen over here on this pie chart, since if we see some, then I'll know that I missed a spot. Okay, and I immediately see a bunch of them, so clearly I must have missed something. It doesn't look like there's any endermen on top, so maybe on the sides? Okay, it doesn't look like there's anything on the sides here either, so there must be a hidden cave somewhere that I didn't see. What about under here? Oh, there they are. Okay, there's a ton of endermen right here. Look at this. This looks like this is the only spot that they can spawn, so I'm gonna place some torches real quick, and there we go. It should all be spawn proof down here. Let's fly all the way back up here now and test it out. All right, I've stood here for a little while, and I don't see any endermen on the pie chart, which means the main end island is fully spawn proof now. It's about time, and now we can actually get to work building. Around each of these 20 end gateways is going to be a floating island, and then on each floating island is going to be its own biome, and these are going to be fully fledged, almost exact copies of the real biomes, not tiny ones like what I did in the overworld. And I think this is going to turn out really good. Now, the first thing that I have to do is break the bedrock around all of these gateways. I'm going to break all 6 pieces on top right here, and then the 4 pieces on the bottom, which will look something like this. But as I was lighting up the main end island, I noticed something. Once I go out here, I lose my beacon effects. And to make things go a lot faster, I want to have haste 2 when I'm working on these gateways. So that means we're going to have to build 8 more beacons. It shouldn't be too hard though. I already brought all the materials that I'm going to need. So the only thing I have to do is spawn and kill 8 withers. Wither number 1 is dead. Wither number 2 is dead. So is number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the last one, number 8. That was way too easy. But now I can craft up 8 beacons, and I'm going to place all these in very specific locations to maximize the coverage. One's going to go right here, and now we can place our beacon, and then we can put haste 2 on it. And now to do the same thing 7 more times. And there we go. Here are all of the beacons. And I also went ahead and did an overlay. That way we can see where the beacons have their effect. You can see it covers the entire main end island and all the gateways. So this is going to make things go so much faster. But now that I have that done, I can bust out my bedrock breaking kit, and it has everything that I need inside. So now we can get to work breaking all this bedrock. And there we go. The first piece is done. This might take a while. And there we have it. All 200 blocks of bedrock are broken. Honestly, it went a lot faster than I expected, and towards the end, I was breaking one entire gateway every 5 minutes. I definitely know how to break bedrock super quick now. Now that we have this out of the way, we can start collecting up the blocks that I'm going to need for this build. And it's going to be a ton of blocks. So much, in fact, that I'm not going to have enough shulker boxes to store all these items. So it's time to loot as many end cities as I possibly can in 1 hour, starting now. And right off the bat, I already have an end city. All right, 30 minutes have gone by, and I've managed to get just over a stack of shulker shells and half a stack of diamonds. And I also found 3 extra elytras. Not too bad for just 30 minutes, but we're only halfway there. So let's keep going. 30 more minutes has passed, and I managed to get just over 2 stacks of shulker shells, 8 elytras, and almost a stack of diamonds. Honestly, pretty good for just 1 hour of looting. So now let's head back home real quick, craft up a bunch of chests, and turn all these shells into shulker boxes. Okay, I think I should have enough now. So now we can actually start collecting up the blocks that I'm gonna need for this build. And the first and largest item is gonna be stone. And we're gonna need a lot of this stuff, since most of the islands are gonna have some part that's stone. And that's because basically every overworld biome has stone underneath it. Now, to get all this stone, I'm gonna build a stone generator. And I already have all the blocks that I'm gonna need right here. So let's go build this thing. It's gonna go right over here in my industrial district. First, we're gonna build the frame, adding some hoppers underneath, 2 pistons like this, and then right down here is gonna go some redstone, and it looks something like this. Now we just have to press this button right here, and these pistons should start working. The farm is almost done. First, we have to place some lava on top like this, and then directly in the middle of the entire industrial district, I'm gonna dig all the way down to bedrock, set up a beacon, and put haste 2 on it. And the stone farm should be good to go. And now we can try it out. All I have to do is go in here like this, and the pistons will push me side to side, and then I just look straight forward and mine. Ooh, this is gonna go fast. And now I just have to sit here until I get almost 200 stacks of stone. A little while has passed, and I should have all the stone that I need. 7 shulker boxes in total. Now the next item is powdered snow, and we're also gonna need 7 shulker boxes of this. So let's grab some shulker boxes, a bunch of buckets, and head over to a snowy slopes biome. There should be one right over here. Yep, here it is. This is powdered snow. And now we can just start collecting all of this up. I have a feeling this is gonna take a lot longer than getting all that stone, but there is way more powdered snow here than I expected. We have 1 shulker box, 2 shulker boxes, 3 shulker boxes, 4. Okay, wow, I am very surprised right now. I thought this was gonna take so long and there was only gonna be a little bit of powdered snow, but it ended up going extremely fast, and I got 13 shulker boxes of powdered snow. So that was definitely a success. Okay, now that I have these 2 main items out of the way, the next thing I have to get is 4 shulker boxes of dirt and 3 shulker boxes of snow blocks, which should be pretty easy to get. There's a ton of snow right here and a ton of dirt over here. All right, the snow and the dirt have been collected, and now next up is a bunch of terracotta, and this will be for all the Badlands biomes. We're gonna need about 2 shulker boxes of normal terracotta, 1 shulker box of orange terracotta, and 5 to 10 stacks of every other color. So let's fly over to a Badlands, set up a max powered beacon for haste 2. Now please tell me you can mine terracotta with haste 2. Okay, oh my gosh, that would have been bad if I couldn't. Now we can start mining all this up. A little while has passed, I have all the terracotta, and that officially marks off all the items that I need more than 1 shulker box of. So now it's just gonna be stacks and stacks of all the other items. First I need to pack up my beacon, and now we're off to collect the rest of the items. Just kidding, I forgot to get red terracotta, so I'm heading back to the Badlands. Okay, that was not very fun without a beacon, but I finally have all the red terracotta. So now it's time to start collecting up all the blocks for the rest of the biomes. And it's gonna be quite the variety of blocks. It's gonna be items like deep slate, packed ice, pointed dripstone and dripstone blocks, many stacks of mud, sand and sandstone, coarse dirt and podzol, and wait a minute, the next item is mycelium. I don't have any extras, and I don't even know where that mushroom biome is, but I do have some over here in the biome build, so I'm just gonna steal a few of these, and I think you can make it spread to dirt, so that's what we're gonna try. I need about 6 stacks of this stuff, so I'm gonna use 6 stacks of dirt. Then I guess I'll build up into the sky like this, make a giant dirt platform up here, and I'm doing this up in the sky since I don't want any grass to spread to it, since I think mycelium can only spread to dirt. And now I'm just gonna place some mycelium in here, and hopefully this spreads. I'm not sure how long this is gonna take, but while it's spreading, we can go collect the rest of the blocks. But now, next up is some clay. We're also gonna need some diorite, some granite, red sand, and dead bushes, and lastly, some poppies. And that was all the items that I need more than 1 stack of. So now the rest of the items are gonna be pretty random, but also in small amounts. It's gonna be items like different types of flowers, red and brown mushrooms, and everything else. This is quite the spread of random items, and to be honest, it looks like a junk chest. But these are all the items under 1 stack that we're gonna need for the build. And over here is every single other item. Look at all these shulkers. Oh my gosh. I already collected the majority of the blocks yesterday, and it took me 8 straight hours. But it was definitely worth it, because this is gonna be so much fun to build. Oh, you know what? We actually don't have every single item. We're still waiting on the mycelium. I'm gonna try a few things to make this go faster. I think if I spread more of it out like this, it should help it go a little bit faster. At least I hope it does. And after After a little while of waiting, all the mycelium is done growing. That honestly did not take too long, and spreading it out definitely did help. And there we go, 6 stacks of mycelium, and that's everything that I'll need to make this build. I cannot believe how long it took to gather up all this stuff, but I'm super excited to go building. Let's just place back my 3 mycelium that I stole from here, and now we can start moving all this over to the end. And it's so many shulker boxes that I'm gonna have to make multiple trips. All right, 3 trips to the end later, and it's all here. I also tried organizing these as nicely as possible, since I don't really want to have to search through 46 shulker boxes to find what I'm looking for. But now that we have this out of the way, it's finally time to start building. Over here in this book, I've written down all the biomes that I plan to build. And first up on the list is the mangrove swamp. So I'll just come over here to the sign that says all things mangrove and grab everything that I'll need. I'm also probably going to need some stone as well. And the first build is going to go over here right above the obsidian platform. Maybe I should have brought some scaffolding with me. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but maybe I'll just pillar it up with some stone for now. And now we can start building the rough shape of the island. And then as we get farther up, I'm going to start texturing some mud into it. I hope this turns out good. Okay, here's the island so far, and I'm super happy with the shape. It's actually looking pretty good, but now we just have to start working on the top. And to do that, I'm going to need some grass and some dirt. Oh, you know what? I didn't bring any water to the end. Let's go grab some real quick, because mangrove swamps usually have a bunch of water in them, so it would look weird if it didn't. So let's grab an extra shulker box and fill it up with water. Now that I have this water, I'm going to add a little pond over here, and that looks kind of cool. I'll probably add another one over here as well. But now we can keep building. All right, here's what it's looking like so far, and it's definitely coming together. And this is how all the islands are going to be. There's going to be the gateway right here in the center, sticking 1 block up. But now that we have the island and the top done, it's time to start working on the trees. And this is definitely going to be the hardest part. After a little bit of work, here it is, the completed mangrove swamp island. This turned out super good. It definitely is missing some vines, but we'll just have to wait for these to grow. But now that I have this island done, it's on to the next one. We can cross it off the list, and up next is a jungle. Jungles are my favorite biome, so this is going to be a lot of fun. Oh, you know what? I'm just now realizing I forgot to bring saplings for actually all of the biomes. I forgot to bring jungle saplings, spruce saplings, oak saplings, acacia saplings, and birch saplings. And while I'm here, I'm also going to need some bone meal. All right, we should be good now. So now it's time to start working on this island, and it's going to go right next to the mangrove swamp. Now I'm going to do the same thing as the mangrove swamp, but instead of blending in mud, I'm going to blend in some dirt. Okay, here's the island, just your average dirt and stone looking island, but it's what's on top that's gonna make it look a whole lot better. Right now, I just have the blank canvas like this, but we're gonna grow a bunch of jungle trees, put some melons and pumpkins, and some flowers to really transform this thing. So let's go do that. First, I need to grab my pumpkins. All right, I added a bunch all over, and now it's time to grow the trees. I need to grab my jungle saplings as well as some bone meal, and the first tree is gonna go right here. Okay, that looks good. It's actually enormous, but I think it'll do. The next big one's gonna go right here, another one right here, a small one right here, a big one over here, and it looks kind of empty right here, so I guess I'll grow one more small one. Perfect. All right, here's how it's looking so far, and it looks really cool, but I still have some more details to add, and most of these details are going to be found in the under 1 stack section. I'm going to grab some cocoa beans and some poppies. Look at this island. Oh my gosh, it's so cool. All right, first up, we're going to add some poppies, and then I'm also going to add some cocoa beans to the small trees. This should look kind of cool. And then to top it all off, we're going to bone meal everything. And there we have it, a completed jungle biome. And I also want to fly up here and make sure there's no places that endermen can spawn. Yeah, see right here. I knew it. Get out of here, buddy. Well, I guess we'll have to place some torches right here. And I just need to make sure there's no exposed areas of wood like this. Let's check the F3 screen. Okay, it doesn't look like there's any endermen. So I think this island is adequately spawn-proofed. And also the torches in the trees actually looks pretty good because it lights up the entire tree. But now that I have this island done, let's cross it off the list. And next up is an old growth spruce taiga. And that's going to go right here next to the jungle. Now the island is going to be the same shape, but instead of dirt, I'm going to use coarse dirt, since those biomes have lots of coarse dirt, and we should be good to go to start building. All right, here's the third island. It also looks pretty normal, but it's what we do on top that's gonna make it look good. I already have all the pods all put down with little patches of coarse dirt, but now I just have to add some little areas of mossy cobblestone. And there we go, the completed old growth spruce taiga. But now that I have this island done, I can go ahead and cross it off the list. And up next is the taiga. Okay, here is the completed taiga. It's pretty similar to the island we just built, except on top I added some sweet berries and some pumpkins. But the next biome we're about to build is gonna be completely different. We can cross taiga off the list, and up next is a snowy slopes. And this is why I needed all this powdered snow. Okay, here's the island so far, and I've already started blending in some powdered snow down here and over here, but now we just have to work on the top, and this is going to be the hardest part, since we're going to have to place down tons of powdered snow. Okay, this is what it's looking like so far, and right here in the center is where the pathway is going to be. So obviously this can't be powdered snow, since every time I want to use this gateway, then I would just sink and freeze to death. So it has to be normal snow right here. But along the outside, we're going to add add some hills, and that's where the snowy slopes are gonna go. All right, I realize that I'm definitely missing something, because as I'm trying to place this powdered snow, I'm just sinking through like this. But there is one thing that I can do to help solve that, and that's to craft up some leather boots. I think you just craft them like this, right? Okay, here we go. But I don't really want to be wearing basic leather boots, because then I might die from fall damage. So I'm gonna head into my enchanting cave and see what kind of enchantments I have. Here we go, Feather Falling 4. So let's add Feather Falling 4 to my boots. And for added safety, I think I also want to add Protection 4. Here we go, I have Protection 4. Let's add this to my boots as well. And there we go, some unnecessarily OP leather boots. But these will definitely come in handy. Now, I don't think I've stepped on powdered snow with leather boots before, so I'll probably get an advancement. Light as a rabbit. This is so nice not sinking into this. It's amazing. This is gonna make everything so much easier. So this is what it's looking like so far, but minor issue. I'm all out of powdered snow, but we just have this one layer left to do, so I actually don't need that much more. Maybe only about 1 or 2 more shulker boxes. All right, some more shulkers have been acquired, and just for safety, I actually got 4. But now let's head back to the end and keep on building. And here it is. It definitely looks like snowy slopes, and the bottom looks pretty good too. But now we can cross this off the list, and up next is snowy peaks. And this one's gonna be even more fun to build. And that's mainly because we don't have to deal with powdered snow. It's just gonna be normal snow from here on out. Okay, here's what it's looking like so far. Honestly, very similar to the snowy slopes biome, but now on top we get to build some mountains. And they're gonna be much bigger than these little hills right here. First, we have to add in a floor though, and that's gonna be mainly stone. But now for the fun part, and that's gonna be building the mountains. First, I'm gonna start with kind of the outline of the mountain like this. We're gonna build 4 sides in a shape similar to this. Now I can start filling it all in, and then we're also gonna have to replace some of this with snow as well. But for now, I'm just getting the basic shape. Quite a bit of texturing later, and here are the 2 mountains. I also ended up making them much taller than before, because they didn't really look like mountains from the start. They were only about as tall as these, and I think this looks so much better. So now that we have this done, we can cross it off the list, and up next is frozen peaks. It's gonna be fairly similar to this, but instead of stone, there's gonna be lots of ice. Okay, here's the base of the island, and it turned out really good. Mixing in the packed ice with the snow and the stone definitely adds a lot more texture. But now comes the fun part, building some more mountains. And here it is, the frozen peaks is fully complete. And this one turned out really cool. Let's take a look from far away. Yeah, check it out. We can cross this off the list, and up next is ice spikes. And this one's gonna be really interesting. First of all, we're gonna need all of this ice. And first, we're gonna start working on the base. It's gonna be basically the exact same as this, but the fun part is gonna come on top. And that's where we get to build all of the big ice spikes. After a little bit of building, here is the base island, but now we're gonna add the ice spikes on top. I'm gonna start with a small one over here. It's gonna look something like this, and then another one over here, and now we're gonna add some really big ones. I have some photos of what ice spikes looked like off to the side, and I'm gonna try to make these look as close to real as possible. Okay, here's the first and the biggest ice spike, and this one looks almost exactly how it would look in the actual biome. So I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. But now over here, we're gonna build a super tall one. Check this out. This looks so cool. This one is definitely the best looking one. It's official. The ice spikes biome is complete. This one is definitely my favorite so far. Check it out. I haven't actually looked at all the biomes we've built so far, but this is what they look like. Whoa, this is really cool. I love how this build is turning out. But now that I have the ice spikes biome done, it's time for an even more unique biome, and that's gonna be the mushroom fields. And that's why I needed all this mycelium. So let's grab all of it, as well as some dirt and some stone, and we can get to work on the base of the island. Guys, oh my god. I just jumped off into the void with my chest plate on. I wasn't actively recording, but I was recording with replay mod, so I hope that I can show you guys what just happened. But basically, I came extremely close to dying. That would have been so bad. But here's the progress on the build so far. So now we're gonna need our mushrooms. We're gonna need some red mushrooms and some brown mushrooms. Then we're also gonna need some bone meal. We're gonna grow this one first. Okay, that's perfect. Next, we're gonna grow this one. Then we're gonna grow this one in the back. And after coming extremely close to dying, the mushroom island biome is finally done. Let's take a look from far away. Check it out. I think it turned out pretty good. Now we can cross this off the list, and I'm actually gonna skip lush caves and dripstone caves next, because those are gonna be different from the normal islands that we've done, and I'm gonna save those for last. So now up next is a river, and I have something in mind for this one that should look pretty cool. First, we're gonna build up the base of the island, and it's gonna be pretty similar to what we've done so far with stone and dirt. I got a little bit carried away with this build, but here's how it's looking like so far. The river is going to go into the center right here, and then there's going to be some glass on the edge right here. At first, I was just going to have a big waterfall, but I don't think that would look that good. So instead, I placed some glass here. So now the only thing we have left to do for this island is to place down a bunch of water. And that's what this shulker box of water is for. All right, this side is complete. Now to just go work on this side. There we go. The river biome is complete. Let's see how it looks from down here. Okay, I'm not too sure if I like that, but it's kind of the best that I could come up with. with. At least it looks good from up here. But now that I have this done, it's time to work on the next biome, and that's going to be a beach. It's going to be very similar to this, but instead of all this grass, it's just going to be all sand. And here we are, the completed beach biome. But now up next, we have a biome that uses even more glass. And the next biome is going to be a warm ocean, and that's going to be entirely glass. So I need to grab all my glass, and then in my under one stack area, I have to grab all of the coral. This took me forever to gather up, so I really hope this looks good. All right, this looks extremely weird, but now it's time to fill it up with water. I'm making sure to fill from the bottom up since I want all these water blocks to be source blocks. That way we don't get any weird pockets of air or any weird flowing water. And there we go, it's all done. Now we just have to go inside and place a bunch of coral. All right, here's the warm ocean biome all complete. I thought I was missing something and didn't like how this portal was just floating in the center, so I added this small little island around it. But down here we have all of our coral, and I also added some seagrass and some sea pickles for some light. This is definitely one of the more unique islands that we've built, but now we can cross it off the list, and up next is a really cool biome, and that's the eroded badlands. This one's gonna be so much fun to build, and that's why I needed all this terracotta. And there's actually gonna be 3 badlands biomes right next to each other. So I'm actually gonna switch it up real quick, and I'm gonna build the base of all 3 islands first, and then we'll start working on the top. It's gonna be the base of the eroded badlands, the regular badlands, and the wooded badlands. And they're all gonna be pretty similar, but for one of them, I have a pretty cool idea, and that's gonna be for the normal badlands biome right here. I've done some work, and here's what it's looking like so far. All 3 bases of the badlands biomes are now done, and I added something cool to the bottom of the normal badlands biome over here, and it's a mini mine shaft. Check it out. Badlands usually have tons of exposed mine shafts, so I thought it would be a cool little detail to add one. The only thing we have left to do is add a chest minecart right here, and a single cobweb right here. And there it is, here's our completed mine shaft. But now that I have the bases to all 3 done, it's time to start working on the top. And I got a little bit carried away and basically completed the badlands biome, so we're gonna do this one first. The only thing I have left to do is start adding some dead bushes around here. And here we are, the badlands is complete. So now we can cross it off the list, and up next, I'm gonna work on the eroded badlands. First, we have to go get some red sand, and then we can start placing it down. All right, here's the progress so far. I have all the base done, and now it's time to start working on the pillars. There's gonna be one giant one right here, a smaller one right here, another one right here, and then another one over here, and then maybe one in the back. I'm not too sure. But with that being said, let's get to work. Here's the progress so far. 2 of the pillars are done, and let's see how it looks from far away. It's really coming together. These next 2 are gonna be even bigger than these ones though, so let's get started. Check it out. The eroded badlands is complete, and this one turned out amazing. So far, this is definitely my favorite one. My favorite used to be the ice spikes, but I think this one looks so much cooler. I'm really happy with how this turned out. But now that I have eroded badlands done, there's only one badlands left to go, and that's the wooded badlands. Now, the wooded badlands also has some coarse dirt in it, so I need to go get some real quick. And I think it also has some grass too, so I'm gonna grab that. And here we go, let's start building. All right, the wooded badlands is fully complete with the exception of the trees. So let's start placing them down. And there we go. Wait, no, the wooded badlands does not have large oak trees like this. Okay, so we have to get rid of these 2. Ah, these giant oak trees are so annoying. All right, there we go, the completed wooded badlands. All 3 of these biomes look super cool, especially the eroded badlands. But now that I have all 3 badlands biomes done, I can cross them off the list, and up next is a savanna. This one should be pretty straightforward. It's just gonna be a base of stone and dirt like usual, with some grass on top and some savanna trees. I mean, acacia trees. They're not called savanna trees. All right, let's get to work. After a bit of work, here is the savanna biome, and this one actually turned out pretty cool. I have some poppies and some dandelions, a little pumpkin patch, and a bunch of grass. Oh, and also the acacia trees. Now we can cross it off the list, and up next is a flower forest. This one's gonna be basically the same as the savanna, except instead of trees, I'm gonna put a ton of flowers. So let's get to work. It's gonna be your normal stone, dirt, and grass base, just like this, and on top will go a ton of flowers, and 2 trees, and one of them with a bee's nest, just like in a real flower forest. Now we only have 1 biome left, and then also the 2 cave biomes, and this last biome is just gonna be a regular plains biome. This one's gonna be almost identical to what we just did, so I won't bore you with any of the details. Let's just get it done. And here we are. Every single island apart from the 2 cave biomes is complete, and this is looking so good. Now these next 2 ones are gonna be pretty different from what we've been doing so far. They're still gonna be floating islands, but on top they're gonna be enclosed, and then inside that enclosed area is where the cave's gonna go. It's a bit hard to explain, but let's just build it so you guys can see. And we're gonna start with the lush caves island. For the base, I'm gonna use deep slate mixed in with some stone, some granite, and some andesite, and maybe some tuff and diorite. Okay, here we go. And now that I have that, I think I'm gonna make a little pond right here, since I want the cave to have multiple layers. Let's see, I'm not sure how I'm gonna do this, but I might just outline a little bit of a shape like this, place some clay down, and then fill it in with water. Okay, here's our little pond, and I'm gonna keep building up from here. All right, here's what I'm working on so far, and you can definitely see this cave cave is starting to come together. If we look at it from a distance, yeah, check it out. This area is going to be a big cave right here. And I also built a small one down here as well. Oh no, there's Enderman down here. No, they're picking up blocks. Chestplate time. I better not fall into the void again. Go away. I definitely didn't do a good job spawn proofing this place, but once we have all the glowberries in here, it's going to be so much brighter. But now that I've killed those Endermen, let's get back to work. Okay, here it is. This is what the lush cave looks like so far, and I have it fully enclosed, and it honestly is turning out really good. Now, the only thing I have left to do is add all of the details, like the little flowering azaleas, some drip leaf, and some glowberries. And first up, I'm going to start placing all the glowberries. And already, this looks so much better because it's nice and bright in here, and there's no Enderman spawning. But now it's time to add some flowering azaleas and all of the other details. And after quite a bit of work, here is the final lush cave island. I think it turned out really good. Let's take a look from up here. Oh yeah, check it out. This looks amazing. This turned out much better than I thought it would. I wasn't sure how this whole enclosed island thing would look, but I think it actually worked out pretty well. It kind of looks like an ice cream cone. But now that I have this island done, I can go ahead and cross it off the list. And up next is the last and final biome, which is the dripstone caves. The whole build process is going to be pretty similar to this, but instead of lots of moss, there's going to be lots of dripstone blocks. And instead of glowberries, there's going to be pointed dripstone. So let's grab up some materials and start building this up. So here's the progress so far. I'm getting the base of the cave all done, and I'm also going in and placing down some pointed dripstone and some little pockets of water. And now I just have to start working on building up the sides and the walls of the cave. And this is going to be the hard part, but it should also be pretty fun. All right, here is the shape of the cave all complete. Whoa, okay, that actually looks pretty good. It's definitely much more circular than this one, but it still doesn't look too bad. Now, the only thing that I have left to do is add all the pointed dripstone hanging from the ceiling. And to do that, I think I'm actually gonna go grab some scaffolding because I don't wanna have to be pillaring up with blocks. All right, let's grab 2 stacks of scaffolding. Now to just pillar up and start placing some pointed dripstone. And just like that, we're finally done. Here's what the inside looks like. Honestly, pretty cool. It definitely looks like a dripstone cave. And let's fly all the way up here and check out all of the builds. I haven't flown up this high yet to check it out, so let's see. Oh my gosh, look at this. Wow, that is so cool. Check that out. Yeah, look at that. This turned out so much better than I expected. Now that we have them all complete, let's take a quick tour of every single one. Starting with the first one that we built, the mangrove swamp. Here's what it looks like. We have some mangrove trees and then the gateway in the center. And I also made it so the beacon can pass through as well. Up next is the jungle. This one also looks pretty cool, and whoa, the vines are getting very long. I'll have to fix that later. Here is the old growth spruce taiga, also looking pretty good. Here is the regular taiga, ooh, trying to kill me, complete with sweet berries, pumpkins, and spruce trees. Over here is the snowy slopes. This one was probably the most difficult to make. Oh gosh, see, look, I'm sinking. Next is the snowy peaks, and this one also looks pretty good. And then here's one of my favorites, the frozen peaks. Here's another one of my favorites, the ice spikes biome. Then we have the mushroom island, the lush cave that we just built, the dripstone cave that we also just built, the river biome, the beach, the warm ocean. This one definitely is the strangest looking. And then my all-time favorite, the eroded badlands. This one just looks so cool. I love it. And then we have the normal badlands complete with our little mine shaft down here. And you know what? Since we just finished this, let's cross dripstone caves off the list and let's just store this in here. I feel like that's kind of cool. Now up next is the wooded badlands. This one also looks very good. Then we have the savanna. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the grass to be the color that it is in the savanna because we're in the end, but it's the best that I could do. Then we have the flower forest. This one is very colorful. And then last but not least, the plains/meadow biome. And that's almost every single biome in the end dimension. This is just part 1 of me transforming this entire island, and I have something super cool planned for the main island down here. So stay tuned for part 2. But that's going to be all for me today, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye!